It is exactly 10 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch UBC News Tonight. Welcome. And my name is Sharon Chomdishe. In our top stories of the day. Coming up, livestock rustlers allegedly collaborating with security to sell livestock. President Museveni gifts Owobusobozira Ruhanga Bisaka a cow on his 93rd birthday. In more stories, Kassosi vaccinates its population by over 60%. And Nabumali High School celebrates 110 years. Students cancelled on discipline. A very good evening once again. In our top stories, President Museveni has launched a campaign that will not only end cattle rustling in Karamoja but also improve the lives of those who have decided to follow the right path of prosperity. The Improved Goat project in Karamoja under the Ministry of Karamoja Affairs is aimed at supporting rehabilitated Kalachuna youth who have abandoned rustling as one of the packages which can enable them settle and rehabilitate themselves through improved livelihood and to support the process of dismemberment. This, according to President Museveni, is the only way to prosperity for Karamojong, who have always been engaged in cattle rustling with no information of how to be prosperous. Take a look.
You see the tail, and the tail is black. But we have also sasa mtafute sema kukaa pembeni.
You can't be prosperous in this way. Yes, migrating from here to there. So, in order to be prosperous, first of all, you must stop mixing cows from here to there and there to here. Once you have got a security, health workers fear to come. So people die from disease. So prosperity is dying from the mixing of cattle by stealing. People are dying because of the gun. They are dying because of disease, because health work doesn't, people can't easily help you. So, in order to be prosperous, first of all, you must stop mixing cows from here to there and there to here. But I'm telling you, this one will stop now. The soldiers are going to hunt anybody with a gun. Hunt anybody with an arrow and bow. Arrest those who go with the stick to be the ones to drive the car. Therefore, what I'm giving you now is just a beginning. The goats are just a beginning because they are easier. But later on, we shall add more things, more things.
I know this is your home. We welcome you, all the people. To interpret.
In a meeting with the leaders, when you directed us as a Minister of Karamoja Affairs to support the process of disarmament by providing a package to the Karachunas which can enable them settle and rehabilitate themselves and their livelihood. So, Your Excellency, through your efforts, we received a supplementary budget of 39.9 billion Uganda shillings for that exercise. And we agreed at a package which has to be given to each Karachuna that each should get 16 goats, whereby 15 are female and 1 male, and then 26 iron sheets, of which 22 will be for the house and 4 for the pit latrine. Peace building meetings.
Wewe, mbona wanalama hii vitu yako hii?
In more stories, President Yoweri Museveni, who has spent his 5th day in pursuit of peace in eastern and northern region, following the reemergence of cattle rustling in the region during the security briefing ahead of the meeting with the Acholi and Lango leaders met. Now, President Museveni was informed that the cattle rustling had turned commercial, with rustlers collaborating with other actors, including security operatives. Take a look at what transpired.
The issue of cattle thefts, especially in Acholi sub-region, is also on the rise. And according to reports, the police canine unit has been vital in fighting the vice, but is limited. President Yoweri Museveni has now announced various stringent measures designed to end cattle rustling in the country, including installing more CCTV cameras at checkpoints, including at Karuma, Para and Masiniport Ferry, to monitor cows being moved from the north to the south and in the region, and use of digital markings of all vehicles that will be centrally monitored.
So, like if you wanted to monitor cows moving between north and southern Uganda, you can actually do it. Do it, not only depending on the roadblocks of those corrupt people who can be compromised. I can put the cameras, and even myself in the State House, watch them myself. So we are going to put cameras. We want every vehicle to have a digital marker, electronically monitored centrally. This program is going to be rolled out.
President Museveni, who has been on a fact-finding mission and assessment of the security situation in the districts bordering Karamoja sub-region affected by the cattle rustling, was yesterday meeting leaders of Lango and Acholi sub-regions at Baralege State Lodge in Otuke County, Otuke District. Those in attendance included the Vice President, retired Major Jessica Alupo, and the Secretary General of the NRM, Honorable Richard Todwong. Others were cabinet ministers from the 2 regions of Lango and Acholi, members of parliament, RDCs and RCCs, and religious leaders, among others.
Now, once we have got digital markers of all vehicles, we shall be able to see which vehicles were in Nyakwai at this time of day and night, when there was a raid there. So really, I can assure you, by combining both ancient and modern means, we are going to end this cattle rustling.
President Museveni said the measures will allow soldiers who are in operations to apprehend wrong characters found in possession of firearms, bows and arrows, sticks for driving the animals, all those suspected to be involved in cattle rustling. He said the use of police canines would also be intensified. President Museveni urged Ugandans to cultivate a culture of peace for economic transformation.
After we defeated Kony, we launched a massive disarmament in Karamoja. People thought it would not succeed because they said the Karamojong had a culture of guns and so on. But for us, we said no, it would succeed. And they tried to fight the army, but they couldn't. We we removed many guns, 40,000, and the area became peaceful.
President Museveni, who welcomed the leaders to his home in Baralege and told them the history of his occupation of the area, also used the same occasion to mobilize leaders to sensitize their people on how to eradicate poverty through modern calculated commercial agriculture. He said leaders must use the vast experience they have of what is happening around the world to wake up their people to abandon subsistence agriculture in favor of modern commercial and calculated farming. The president stressed the need to guide the Wananchi on proper enterprise selection in relation to land holding per family, strongly recommending intensive agriculture for those with 4 acres of land. Museveni said the families with huge chunks of land can go in for extensive farming, especially for crops like cotton, maize and sugarcane, among others. The president at this juncture invited leaders from the region to visit his demonstration farms at Baralege and convey the message from the farm to the people in their areas that will help them get out of poverty. Commenting on the concerns raised by the leaders of the 2 sub-regions of Lango and Acholi, President Museveni noted that all socio-economic requests by leaders require funds, adding that with proper budgeting in Parliament and prioritization of programs, all those needs would gradually be met, including infrastructure development, power extension, hospital expansion, school enrollment, among others, as not all of them can be fulfilled at once. On the issue of Akibwa Stadium, President Museveni pledged the prioritization of Akibwa and Muhinga national stadiums to promote sports. On the issue of the upper land conflict, President Museveni urged leaders not to be misleaders. The Vice President, retired Major Jessica Alupo, once again thanked President Museveni for peace and security prevailing in the country that has enabled Wananchi to carry out their duties normally.
Now, President Yoweri Museveni has congratulated and donated a brand new Land Cruiser and 20 million Ugandan shillings to Faith of Unity founder Owobsowozi Bisaka. This was during celebrations to mark the Owobsowozi's 93rd birthday at Kapiemi, Muhoro Town Council, Kagadi District, where Premier Nabanja represented the president. Details follow.
The founder of Faith of Unity, Owobsowozi Mukama Ruhanga Bisaka's legacy continues to be celebrated. The latest has been at his 93rd birthday, whose commemoration was officiated by Premier Robin Nabanja at Kapiemi, Muhoro Town Council, Kagadi District. Glamour, pomp and excitement was apparent when the celebrants learnt of President Yoweri Museveni's gift of a brand new Land Cruiser V8 vehicle. President Museveni hailed Owobsowozi Ruhanga Bisaka for instilling hard work, fostering unity and diversity, and boosting development and reducing poverty in Greater Kibale. The president's message also advised the leaders of Faith of Unity to encourage believers and the nation to embrace the parish development model. Premier Nabanja warned against land wrangles and discouraged claimants of wetlands, which is a prelude to environmental degradation. The leader of Unity of Faith gifted President Yoweri Museveni with a chair as symbol for good leadership and promoter of peace and development. Local area leaders request government to address key issues in Bunyoro sub-region, especially the land question and the road network, especially in Muhororo and in Daiga. They also want President Yoweri Museveni to declare 11th June a national holiday to celebrate the birth of Owobusobozi Omukama Ruhanga Bisaka. Owobusobozi Bisaka was born on 11th June 1930 in Kitoma, Kiboizi, Kibale district and started Faith of Unity in 1980.
As COVID-19 continues to claim lives in Uganda and the world at large, we have taken a step to see how border districts have maneuvered through the pandemic. Emphasis has been put on Kassosi district being a refugee hosting district. According to research, over 60% of the population has been vaccinated since the onset in 2021. Take a look.
Over 6.3 million people across the world have succumbed to COVID-19 since its outbreak in December 2019 in China, while over 539 million people are still battling with the disease worldwide. In March 2021, Uganda joined the rest of the world in the campaign against COVID-19.
I'm working with my people to develop our own vaccine. Don't think that we're just sitting here waiting to be rescued by others. We were a bit late, but we have started now. My people will be ready to try on the mice.
In border districts like Kassosi, the campaign against COVID-19 has been hard due to continued influx of refugees and others due to trouble across the porous borders. Despite vaccination efforts now at 63%, Kassosi district campaign against COVID-19 will have to continue because of these refugees and those that cross the border for work, business and food.
First, control them not to enter the communities. Then second, we collect them to the camp, to the transit camp, where we organize the vaccination teams. We vaccinate them before they are transferred to the other refugee settlements.
Kassosi district is a populous area bordered by DRC to the west, Rwanda to the west, and Kanungu to the north. Considering that it is the region's food basket of the area and linked by road to both DRC and Rwanda, it continues being a boiling pot for frequent visits by neighbors for trade, tourism, and entertainment. Though this might be good for the area's economy, it brings with it possible spread of COVID-19.
Those who are resistant to go and be vaccinated are the younger people, the youngsters. We say that the vaccine has some toxins which would destroy their future.
But I would say with the current Moderna vaccine, the current Moderna vaccine we're having, that's where we have received most complaints. But many people who are getting it, they're the ones who are getting issues, especially of simulation of the disease.
Area leaders were duty-bound to carry out intensive sensitization about the importance of getting vaccinated and maintaining the standard operating procedures, which is done to date. This was meant to ensure that residents of Kassosi, also known as the Bafumbira, to embrace vaccination.
Vaccine protects from severe disease and death. And the more people get vaccinated, then the greater the opportunity for all of us to get protected, but also to ensure that we don't have our hospitals congested with very sick people.
At one time, I had it on UBC, where the legislature gave out a directive that whoever will be caught when he or she has not been vaccinated would be penalized.
Dr. Baganizi Michael is the medical superintendent of Kassosi Hospital. He explains the nature of operations after the district had registered the first COVID-19 case at the hospital.
I was standing there alone, asymptomatic, but everybody was afraid. People were putting on the spraying everywhere, and it was quite a shock. Even the simple things like masks, gloves, it was quite challenging to access them, and it caused a lot of initial fear in the staffs. At one point, we had every single patient without COVID on one ward, and the rest of the hospital was COVID, apart from maternity.
Baganizi is however thankful to government and other partners like UNICEF for the necessary support.
The transition district, so it is always there in focus for UNICEF. But secondly, also, it is prone to climatic issues. I think in February, we had the challenge of the landslides that happened in one of the villages here, and so we are continuously watching Kisoro in that perspective. So Kisoro is in focus for UNICEF, and we continue to support Kisoro.
Baganizi says after registering vaccination of at least 60% of the population, there was some relief that necessary precautions had been undertaken, and all that remained was for the population to observe the special operating procedures.
However, now there are plenty. We started off with few vaccines, and people were rushing here. It was like a market. Now we have many vaccines, and we are looking for the for the people and convincing them to come to take uptake. So that's what.
Efforts to control the spread of COVID-19 is nationwide, with vaccination being undertaken at all hospitals across the country, supported by sustained supply of vaccines. Uganda has so far registered over 160,000 positive cases, of which over 3,600 have succumbed to COVID-19. Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Mary. In more stories, Nabumali High School students and administration have celebrated 110 years of existence with a call to the students to maintain a high level of discipline if they are to uplift academic excellence of the school. Chief Justice Owino Dolo officiated the celebrations and stressed that for better performance does not only need concentration of students in class, but also a discipline. That discipline is key. I beg your pardon.
Established in 1912, Nabumali High School has gone through ups and downs, but this has not barred the school from producing highly reputable and respected personalities. The school has held celebrations to mark 110 years in existence that started with a church service.
We urge all students of Nabumali High School to be disciplined and work very hard, because we are basing on them. We don't want students who keep losing around and at the end they end up actually performing very poorly.
Speaking to the congregation, the Chief Justice Owino Dolo stressed the need of discipline for better academic performance.
There is something that exists in those schools which Nabumali High School used to have, which now it doesn't have. Discipline. Discipline. Discipline, nothing else. We were here, the other time when Rose was saying, well, Rose, did I contribute to the building of the gate? I refused. The problem is not the gate, the problem is discipline. So how do we restore the discipline we found in Nabumali High School? Because once there is discipline, all these teachers we have here will do wonders.
Meanwhile, Lady Justice Catherine Betiba Mgemerere has urged students to exploit their time at the school if they are to realize their desired goals in life.
Please take your time here seriously. Do not waste even one single moment. This place has groomed us to become what we are. All the values we have, all the responsibility we hold, all the inculcation we've had even into our own children, most of it started here. We had a lot of enrichment into our lives. Do not take your stay here for granted. And for the old Nabumalians who are here and the teachers who are here, pass on the values of Nabumali, pass on the godly values, pass on the Ubuntu values, the African values, pass those on to your children and to their children's children.
The alumni commended the school for giving them a ground. Sudat Kai, Yiga Muhammad, UBC News.
An estimated 20% of children across the country are subjected to child labor. This has been disclosed during celebrations to mark the World Day Against Child Labor in Kabarole district. The minister urged parents to embrace government programs, especially the parish development model, boost their incomes and sustain their families. State Minister for Local Government, Victoria Businge Rusoke, represented the Vice President. Details follow.
An estimated 20% of children across the country are subjected to child labor. This has been disclosed during celebrations to mark the World Day Against Child Labor in Kabarole district.
Child labor is more prevalent in rural areas, which is at 31%, than urban centers or urban areas, which are at 20%.
Abana kuiza isomero nibabanza kuzinduka kunoga amayirungi nikibaletereza kukerererwa kusoma kwa nyenkyakara ubundi nibakufwerwa.
The minister urged parents to embrace government programs, especially the parish development model, to boost their incomes and sustain their families. State Minister for Local Government Victoria Rusoke represented the Vice President.
I'm going to ask the Labour Officer and the District of Education Officer to give me the statistics of children who are in school, to look around and record the children who are not in school, and then we begin a serious war to make sure all the children return school, they stay in school and complete school.
Poverty, domestic violence, irresponsible parents, and effects of COVID-19 were highlighted as the current drivers to child labor.
The recent neglect by some parents and caregivers, sometimes the hostility at home, what today we call domestic violence, is seen as a key driver.
State Minister for Gender and Labour in charge of Youth and Children's Affairs, Sarah Mateke, said the ministry is embarking on training, rehabilitating and enrolling dropout children to schools to address the challenge.
The ministry established a national steering committee on elimination of child labor at a multi-sectoral coordination platform on matters of child labor. Stepping up labor inspection and enforcement of labor standards.
State Minister for Labour, Employment and Industrial Relations, Colonel Patrick Okero Engola, said the Ministry of Gender is also implementing a policy to address child labor challenge.
The National Action Plan on Elimination of Child Labor and Employment Act 2006 and its attendant regulations to curb child labor.
World Day Against Child Labor is commemorated every 12th June, and this year's celebrations was under the theme Universal Social Protection Against Child Labor. Sudat Kaye, Kabahenda Bridget, UBC News.
Residents from 5 villages in Kalangalo sub-county Mityana district are living under fear and suspicion following notifications from a section of individuals claiming to be owners of the land which they've occupied for years. This has prompted the area member of parliament Kibedi Nsegumire to intervene.
This is a land eviction urgent meeting convened in Kalangalo sub-county Mityana district.
Okumwawula mbalina omuwaako oba balina kugamba nti oba nayiika 3 zirina kutwagala otugula omulundi gumu. Bwe twatuukira mu kitundu ekyo ettaka lyali lya mwami Kassosi.
Here residents from 5 villages in Kalangalo sub-county risk facing forceful eviction by claimants of the contested land.
Mugamba n'awantu naye nze nabasobola kufuna ssente za kwegula.
Chairman bajja ne bapima ekibanja kyange. Chairman n'angamba nti mutaka mulimu ebintu 3: okufuna, okufiirwa n'okufa.
Ne bachairman batandika okutambula nga bakola nga bapima ebyapa byaffe, bapima ebibanja byaffe nga tetuina kyetumanyi.
The meeting was convened by the Mityana North Member of Parliament, Kibedi Nsegumire.
Ettaka lino lyewakolako ebintu byonna. Ettaka lyewakolako ebintu byonna. Okukyokola kyonna wakikola irigo. Kubanga administrator general ettaka lyamugendamu ennaku mwezi 21, omwezi ogwokuna 2022. Endagaano gy'olina ya nnaku z'omwezi 4. ogw'omukaaga 2021.
It is during this engagement that there were some inconsistencies noticed from the land title being fronted by one Leonard Kisitu who claims this land ownership.
Kino kyapa kyo. Kyapa kyo. Eyogera mu bende. Kwekiri? kiwa kiri kino kyapa kyoli kutaka lirimu liranyiga eyogera Mityana
kyabuze ekitiwa kyokole mother title yali eyogera
Mityana
kati kino kyapa mukama wawe mother title ile eyogera mu bende nesigala kati wewe kola ebyapa ile esigala nga mu bende
kati kyembadde nkusaba kintu wano wa ate wano kyapa sikipya wano bulera wano bulera
kati sinze ndakole byape
The meeting, however, resolved to carry out investigations into this matter, especially the documentation process.
You find a person with the land title, which land title is not for that particular place. So what I've decided, I've told them, I've stopped whatever activities there is taking place so that we can go back to Ministry of Lands and rectify that problem.
An interim halt by the area Member of Parliament was also issued to deter any development activity on the contested piece of land. It should be noted that Kalangalo sub-county is a home to the Lands Minister, Judith Nabakoba. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Robert Onyango. Moving on from that, a family in Rukuchiri sub-county, Ibanda district, has been supported by Ibanda South John Paul Ninkusima. 70-year-old Generosa Kassosi and her children with disabilities is the beneficiary of the house that costs over 15 million to be put up. Details follow.
70-year-old Generosa Kassosi and her 2 disabled children can now smile after Ibanda Member of Parliament built them a residential house.
Namajezi gambulire nabugana panado muzaura yangaura karwara ninstamaha ngure ninguze mcheka ninduke mcheka yanje mcheka yanje kingure nchindo ningure nchindo dero nguma ninduka nisiba ninduke mcheke ninduka kinkweza namara kuruka mcheka njitaba ncheza kuite mcheka manana nanga mwenda hata basuzubiza mcheka bayitundira.
The family located in Kassosi in Mpasha, Ruchiri sub-county, Ibanda district, have had an happy life after the breadwinner became disabled 30 years ago.
Those are families that have nowhere to sleep. They have simple grass-thatched houses. When it rains, those families, people sleep outside because inside their homes is worse. You cannot compare the inside with outside, with the outside environment. So in such a case, you find people sleeping outside. I'm trying my level best as a member of Parliament, using the salary I earn. Because this salary I'm earning, it's not mine alone. It is for the people of Ibanda South. So I'm using the same salary from Parliament. So by every month, I have capacity to work on 5 or 10 houses every month.
Kassosi, whose legs got paralyzed, now depends on mat weaving for a livelihood. She lives with her 3 disabled children who are paralyzed and are surviving from their mother's efforts.
Hatuachize myaka nkikumi twabetsimbure maguru embe ujangu amaguru garabatansi nko mutuko batanso kahama hate msi ejemsi yamaguru yenyuma igumanyanga kureka ati endangu igumane yehendeti hati nosa agata katukuresa gama ujangu tukaturesa gama yabazire hati na igumane istamburamu kiza ugenda amaguru ganga ukiza kubatango hame ogwa mwe no kubona bona.
While handing over the house, the Member of Parliament, Ibanda South, Honorable John Paul Ninkusima, alias Panado, said he felt concerned and decided to construct a habitable home for the needy family.
I see it is a big project, but this project can move for like a year, 5 years, 10 years, even if it takes 20 years. The people of God will have gained something.
Ninkusima says he has planned to give each affected household 15 iron sheets soon, which will be handed over at each sub-county headquarters. Sudat Kaye, Frederick Anyine, UBC News.
Congratulations and thanks to the Minister. Now, High Court Judge Justice Esther Sache has urged parents to dedicate time and teach their children morals to be responsible members of the society. Sache decried the busy schedules of work by parents that she says is the leading cause of immorality and irresponsible members of the society. She made the remarks at Trinity College Nabingo while celebrating 80 years of the school.
I think more proud should come from the students themselves to thank the parents for what they do first. Things are not easy these days. Dear parents, we are grateful for all the sacrifices you are making for the good of your children and the school at large, especially in the current economic situation, which is challenging. We pray that the Almighty God will reward you abundantly.
We are very happy. We are here at Nabingo Sports Ground celebrating 80 years of the school's existence. The message to the young girls is that they need to work hard. In this country we have a culture of people taking shortcuts in school. There are many schools which produce students through cheating in exams, assisting the students to perform well when they actually haven't been properly taught. In this school, we are taught, so the academics are sound, we are taught values, we are taught to be strong in our faith. As we celebrate 80 years of our existence, my message to the girls, not only in Trinity College, but all the girls out there, that they should believe in themselves, they should be determined, they should work hard, they should relate well with everyone so that in future they become ladies of substance, they can manage their own life, they can be useful to their families, and they can be useful to the nation at large.
Indeed, parents should play a huge role in bringing up their children the way that they want them to move. Moving on from that, business people operating small and medium enterprises in the districts of Moroto and Kotido have been urged to embrace enhancing competitiveness and medium enterprises in order to improve their businesses. According to ECO's team leader, Jimmy Biaruhanga, they are targeting over 1,000 small and medium businesses across the country in innovation and digitalization, market development, access to finance, among others.
Enhancing competitiveness in small and medium enterprises in Uganda initiative is to help people in Moroto and Kotido districts in Karamoja sub-region on how to improve and earn more profits in their businesses. At the meeting attended by small and medium business people in Moroto municipality, the team leader enhancing competitiveness in small and medium enterprises in Uganda, Jimmy Biaruhanga, says they are targeting small medium enterprises across the country to help them improve their businesses.
Search for and support 1,000 small and medium enterprises in the whole of this country. So currently we intend to support them in areas of innovation and digitalization, in quality management up to the attainment of the QMark international certifications like ISO, occupational health and safety, and environmental and management systems.
Biaruhanga explains the small and medium enterprises targeted, including agriculture, construction, among others.
In the manufacturing sector, in the construction sector, we are looking for SMEs in tourism and hospitality, and also green businesses. These are the SMEs that we have targeted as ECOS because we believe these sectors have potential for growth.
However, most people in Moroto had a negative attitude towards such projects.
Know how to make business, and that's why sometimes most of these cultural projects people try, but at the end of the day, they don't succeed. So I hope this kind of project will not be the same kind.
We have businesses. Many people here are business oriented, but one, people don't have business skills. We are not registered. We do our business just for consumption. You go and sell, at the end of the day, you put something on the plate.
Business people, entrepreneurs, that this is the high time you use this chance of this project to ensure that everything you do meets those levels of certifications. Because
Moroto and Kotido districts are to benefit from the ECOS project. Maureen Yiga, Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
The Tales of Kassosi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello, this is Kassosi. How can I help you?
Congratulations. Oh, one good day.
Good day? But I haven't entered any competition.
Owadechi, since you use your phone every day, we have randomly selected you as one of our loyal customers, and you have won a brand new pickup.
Hey, so how do I get this pickup?
The pickup is in Namave. All we have to do is quickly bring it to you. You know, we are delivering many of them. So, just send us 100k for fuel via mobile money and we'll bring it to you.
But Chief, I'm in no hurry to receive it. Namambe is just here. Keep it at your warehouse, give me directions and I will get time to pick it up.
Vaonawe, if you don't have money, just say.
Tonfera, never send money to strangers. Winners of competitions are contacted through official channels and are never asked to pay for anything. Stay tuned for what Kassosi does next.
Tonfera, refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by UCC, MTN, Airtel, Bank of Uganda, and NPSP Association.
Fellow citizens, thank you for diligently and consistently honoring your tax obligations. It is through your collective contribution that the government is able to provide social services. In spite of the simultaneous global crises that have hit our livelihoods and businesses, you have proven that as a people, we can rise up and still mobilize domestic revenues enough to sustain us as a country. As we close in to the end of this financial year, I urge you not to lose the momentum and resilience that you have demonstrated all year through. Please file your returns and remit your taxes in time to avoid unnecessary inconveniences that come with non-compliance. As Uganda Revenue Authority, we are committed to facilitate you in honoring your obligations through a reliable and delightful service. I invite you to use our various e-platforms to remit your tax contributions with ease and on time. We have extended all our working hours at all our border stations, the bonded warehouses, and service centers. Should you need further assistance, please contact us via our toll-free lines and our WhatsApp platforms. Tax is the surest way of liberating our country from the bondage of economic dependence. Let us all play our part, pay our dues, and develop our country. For God and my country.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Even with my grandson, a doctor at my side, I struggled to get the help I needed. But he saw something that day. He began to work day and night. He wouldn't quit, even when people said no. He wouldn't stop fighting. He knew something had to change, and his vision was bigger than anyone could imagine. He made it possible to receive quality medical services anywhere in Uganda by simply using a phone.
This is a story of a regular Ugandan just like you, who harnessed the power of technology to provide a solution for us. How about you tell us your story? UG needs more of you. To share your story, visit airtel.co.ug/UG needs more of you or call or SMS 162. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Are you a player in the tourism sector with a struggling business following the COVID pandemic? UDB, in partnership with European Union, is providing financial assistance to businesses operating in the tourism sector. You can access subsidized loan with grants, loan with a tenor of up to 5 years, free business advisory services, and free environmental impact assessment. Visit www.udbl.co.ug/call for applications to apply. Deadline for submission is 31st October 2022 at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 0414 355 509.
Football packages, great entertainment, sports, local content, telenovela, the movies. There is something for everybody. Everybody, Go TV. This is where the stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With GoTV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Uganda shillings per month. GoTV, great stories. Zidiwano. GoTV Uganda. Love it.
The Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is back on Sunday, 3rd July 2022 at Lubiri Mengo. This year, the run will be physical and will be flagged off by Sabasaja Kabaka at 7 a.m. Come out in large numbers once again to Lubiri Mengo. Run for a cause to fight and end HIV by 2030. Buy your ticket today at 15,000 Uganda shillings from Airtel shops at Tobani Center, New Taxi Park, ShopRite Building, Benchwanka Street, Majestic Brands Office at Bulange Mengo. You can also buy your ticket using Airtel Money. Dial *185*5#. Select Payments, select Kabaka Run, and follow the prompts to complete the payment. Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is brought to you by UNAID, CBS, BBS, and Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. You're still watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Chomdisha. Moving on in more stories, head teachers and schools patrons of secondary schools in West Nile have been tasked to intensify instilling spirit of patriotism in their students. Now, the Chief Political Commissar, Major General Henry Matiko, said this over the weekend, and he was officiating a patriotism training for head teachers and school patrons in West Nile secondary schools at Moni University. Details for them.
Chief Political Commissar Major General Henry Masiko says instilling patriotism among young people models the future leaders of the country.
And we were challenging the teachers here that they spend much of the time with these young people. So what these young people do as normal things depend on what they pick from this. So if, as a country, if you don't give what people should take to be important when they are still young, then they look for what they think is important. They look for drugs, they look for misbehaving, like promiscuity. They will pick this from elsewhere. So it is the duty of a country, starting with the family, the school system, the government institutions, to prepare the young generation of a country. If we don't do it, the country will run into problems.
However, attributing patriotism to an agenda of national resistance movement has been one of the main challenges facing spirit of patriotism among Ugandans.
Actually, the biggest challenge we have faced and we continue to face is perception. For example, many Ugandans have branded this program as a partisan program, and they want to impress that upon those who may want to develop interest in participating in the program, and they say this is an NRM only program, and for them who are not NRM have nothing to do with it. But then the others who disinform our young people because they know the truth, they have data, but they manipulate this truth and the data and tell lies to the young people with the intention of misleading them.
Head teachers conceded to the fact that some of them have had misconceptions about the matter.
One fact is there are people who had got some kind of misconceptions that they thought this is an NRM kind of agenda where they want all the Ugandans to be what? Maybe following the NRM party. But of course I've understood that it's not that all about NRM, because I think I've been able to learn a lot.
This idea is good because it is non-partisan. Whether you are DP, you are what a movement is, it doesn't matter. The idea is what? We are supposed to be united as Ugandan.
President Yoweri Museveni established National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps in 2019 with a mandate to develop and coordinate patriotism clubs in all secondary schools and other institutions countrywide. Joseph Odama, UBC News, in Arua City.
Now, over 10 Francophone schools from in and around Kambala have observed a French National Day as an event held at Bishop Cyprian Chihanjiri Secondary School, Luzira. Stakeholders who attended the event, however, appealed to the government to consider making French compulsory, since Congo has joined the East African community.
Over 10 Francophone schools this weekend gathered at Bishop Cyprian Kahingire Secondary School to mark French Day celebrations.
Ne sera pas longtemps avant que la mer nous mange lentement. Vous continuez toujours à dire, je ne suis pas corrompu.
The event was characterized by French cultural presentations where different schools recited poems, songs and performed dances in French.
Une école accessible, soyez à l'aise, adressez-ça.
Makerere University Business School Don Dr. Mibuga Aseru officiated the event and said observing the event was important for the upcoming French-speaking students and those acquainted with the language.
Usually in the year, every March, we celebrate the Francophonie. The Francophonie simply means bringing people of different diversity, languages, cultures together and being united by the French language. So we are celebrating it in June because we couldn't make it in March. So it is being celebrated by the Association of Teachers of French in Uganda in different regions. So this is one of the regions. And their theme is French, a language of development. French is good for developing tourism. French is good for education. You saw a poem about education. French is good for doing research. It is good for advanced studies.
Some of the students at the event could not hide their excitement in embracing French language based on the unlimited opportunities they expect from French language.
I'm enjoying the performance and I like that they are promoting French language because I'm a big fan of French actually. I just have this natural love of French. I really love the French language, and at school there is this international French course that I take because I really love French and I hope that in future it can take me somewhere. Like I really want to go study abroad and work abroad and get to know other people. J'aime beaucoup le français. Je veux visiter la France un jour et travailler en France.
Looking at French as just a minor language to pass exams, there are very big opportunities you can get when you offer French. There are very, very big opportunities. You do not only become a teacher, but you can become any profession that you want as long as you have French in the background.
Senior French teacher Katende Abel appeals to the government to support the teaching of French language to position young people to access opportunities in East Africa community that is now partly Francophone oriented.
We are here today to celebrate the French Open Day, where our students from the various schools in Kampala A have gathered here to make presentations, to speak, to enjoy the French language. This is what we are here for. It encourages them. It encourages them to meet and enjoy speaking French, and it gives them courage. Those ones who are giving up, when they see others talking and speaking, they also get the energy and the courage to continue speaking French.
Well, there you have it, celebrating the French. Now, I think it's a day of celebrations, but in this, in regards to languages, because even the Spanish community in Uganda have marked celebrations of the Spanish Day during the celebrations that were held at Makerere University. Stakeholders in Spanish, however, have called upon Ugandans to take advantage of opportunities that Spanish presents and become competitive in the global job market. Take a look.
The Spanish community in Uganda have commemorated the Spanish Day at an event held at Makerere University in Kampala.
So I would wish that we could be several people helping so that the teaching function can be strong, the cultural activities also can be strong, then the marketing in schools, because many schools don't know that we are offering Spanish at university and that you can start with zero.
One of the beneficiaries, Dr. Kayemba Shaban, says he is happy with the Uganda-Cuban relationship and trained in Cuba for his medical studies.
I am one of the active beneficiaries of the Cuba-Uganda Friendship Program. When I talk about being an active beneficiary, I mean I studied in Cuba on a government scholarship. I studied medicine. I was down in Cuba for 7 years. Yes, I'm a Cuban-trained medical doctor. The other part of being a beneficiary is I studied Spanish, among other languages.
IUBDF medical officer Alan Mpamize says Spanish is significant for regional and international integration and appealed to Ugandans to take advantage and tap into opportunities that Spanish presents.
If you learn a new language, you have a chance first at unique employment opportunities. No one can compete with some certain employment opportunities. For example, translation, you cannot translate a language that you don't know. You have a better chance with a different language on your CV, so you'll be more competitive than the rest of the employers. You will learn to interact with more different cultures of different places, which makes you a better person. In short, a new language like Spanish is a very, very important language to add onto your CV because it is the second most spoken language in the whole world.
Spanish is a language spoken in some parts of the world, mainly South America, Africa, and Europe.
We are trying to give a boost to the learning, to the teaching of Spanish culture in Uganda. And I think we have a long way to go, which is actually good because so much can be done that with these seats we can make it grow and put the Spanish at the level it deserves in a country such as Uganda.
The Tales of Kassosi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Yes, hello? This is Kassosi. How can I help you?
Calling you from the mobile service center.
Okay. So how can I help you?
Well, we have noticed a few things wrong with your number and need your mobile money PIN.
Ton Ferra, never give out your password or PIN to any caller. Your mobile service provider will never call or ask for your personal details. If in doubt, go to your nearest phone service center.
This message is powered by UCC, MTN, Airtel, Bank of Uganda, and NPSP Association.
Fellow Ugandans, on Tuesday 14th June 2022, the Honorable Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development will read the budget speech for the financial year 2022-2023. What are the priorities and opportunities in it? To know this and more, please listen to the budget speech financial year 2022-2023 on 14th June 2022 starting at 2 p.m. across all television and radio stations in Uganda. Our budget, our responsibility. This message is brought to you by the Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group, CSBAG, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and National Budget Month Partners.
Fun is our flavor. When we're together, the vibe is pretty alright. Our taste is fruity awesome. We are Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment. Enjoy Mirinda Fruity, Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. In our business stories, the Minister of Microfinance has urged Jinja City to aim at having a better urban centre. This was during the inspection and performance monitoring program of the Myoga SACCOs in Jinja City.
Jinja City is one of the beneficiaries of the Emyoga program in Busoga sub-region. The Minister of State for Microfinance, Haruna Kasolo, has advised beneficiaries if the presidential initiative is to work, they must sacrifice and spend less if they are to progress. Beneficiaries applauded Microfinance Support Center for continued training aimed at changing people's attitudes towards the Emyoga program.
At that time, was intended that was the intention.
The Emyoga program has not only improved the standards of living of people with disabilities, but also erased the discriminatory tendencies against them.
The success of the circle is as a result of equal participation between the circle leaders, association members, and the good training made by the Microfinance Support Center. We hope to achieve a better performance as members are getting used to handle credit funds.
Jinja South West Division received seed capital of 530 million shillings, disbursed 748,700,000 shillings. Loans recovered are at 196,732,575 shillings, while accumulated savings are at 226,874,200 shillings. Jinja South East Division received seed capital of 560 million shillings. The amounts disbursed are at 865,435,300 shillings. Loans recovered at 193,234,015 shillings. Accumulated savings at 241,959,000 shillings. Jinja North Division received seed capital of 560 million shillings, amounts disbursed at 846,847,400 shillings, and loans recovered at 178,500,000 shillings, with accumulated savings of 243,922,100 shillings. Wadulo Makanold Kagoro Joshua, UBC News. Inji.
The chairperson of the National Economic Committee in Parliament this week led members on an inspection of Gulu City roads under construction with the $360 million collective funding for 21 other municipalities and cities from the World Bank. Gulu City has since tarmacked approximately 11.7 kilometers of road network, with another 6 kilometers currently being designed ahead of construction.
There is a need to intensify scrutiny of Uganda's infrastructure projects, in particular road networks, most upon which the country's huge borrowing is linked.
We have seen the work is moving, but personally, as a chairperson of the committee, this is a loan that we obtained in the financial year 2018-2019, and this project is expected to end by 2022-2023. So we only still have a very small period looking at the time that we have already covered to the conclusion of this project.
Members of Parliament drawn from the National Economic Committee of Parliament are in the northern city of Gulu reviewing the road projects under funding by the World Bank.
So when we come for a meeting of this nature, we are expecting that we shall be able to get advice that will inform now that this second phase is winding up next year. Now, if government decides to approach the World Bank for again the next maybe the second use meet, if I may call it, I think these are issues that will be able to inform their lessons we are picking in the field. You see that may inform the second phase of the project, the third phase or the second project.
With the new cities facing a heavy infrastructure deficit and lack of capital financing, The Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development is seeking $700 million infrastructure credit from the World Bank in order to fund new infrastructure projects. All the same, across locals say the interventions in Gulu City needs to be expanded beyond the 11.7 kilometers so far covered under the road tarmacking.
But here in Gulu, the drainage system is very okay. I have not yet had those cases of flooding, those cases of Simanyi, some places developing those diseases of diarrhea because of the poor drainage system. Me, according to my judgment, for sure, I give Gulu City 80%.
The Uganda Support to Municipal Infrastructure Development, which oversees the $360 million funding, insists that despite the demand for more roads to be built in Gulu City, maintenance of the roads covered so far also remains of concern.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You see, I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just register.
What's going on here? He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it. Just dial *185 *10 hash, and now you are on. No waiting. Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
Not mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
You're very welcome once again to UBC News Tonight as we come to a conclusion. Now, the 12th of June 2022 has been such a special day because UBC got to play with NTV and it was a friendly match. Well, you get to watch the highlights from the game as UBC tried their best to make sure that they beat NTV, even if that didn't come to pass. NTV scored 3 goals and UBC scored 2 goals. But yes, there is bound to be a rematch.
Kapten, ndakusala.
Well, the words used were friendly match, but that doesn't look like it was a friendly one. How'd you let a friend lose? Thank you so much for watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Chandrisha, on the 12th of June 2022. Congratulations to NTV, but yes, we'll have a rematch and we're bound to beat you when it comes to that. We love you so much. Thank you for watching UBC News Tonight. Continue watching. Stay tuned for more programming coming your way, and have a good night and a blessed week as you start one tomorrow. Bye-bye.